Ben seemed pretty upset about the first-team offense today. How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, same way. And, a lot of it is, you start slow, how we did, especially with a play, a simple, easy play, and, mistiming a snap with a fast receiver, flying across fast motion. And, you have a something like that happens early in the game. It's not what we want, especially in our openers. Those are typically plays that we've gone over multiple times, and having those issues is frustrating, and definitely need to fix that. But that's a big point of why we practice, why we have preseason and things like that, to be able to get more reps, have those moments, be able to have a moment like that, and be able to learn from it and correct it.
Ben's indicated a couple times along the past month that things weren't where they should be, things weren't far enough along big picture. This would seem to be a time where it feels that way. How do you feel about where you guys are at as an offense getting ready for week one?
Yeah, we all see it in the sense of we all see what we can be. We all see, there's flashes, and there's often, some pretty good moments in practice and in games that we've had so far. And, one of those moments today was, the 2-minute drive that we had before half. Before the 2-minute drive, being able to talk to the guys and, saying to the guys, like, here we go, this is, just getting to that feeling of, if we're ever down in a game, if we ever start slow, if we ever have these moments, and being able to understand that, being able to, have the self-control and discipline for those moments, to be able to go out there and, go score a 2-minute, and, we'll get the ball back in the second half and, go out there and score again and have a, 14-point swing right there. So it's obviously moments that we don't want to have. Obviously moments, we want to start fast. We want to come out there and we want to win the game early on. If those don't happen, it always seems to come down to the end of the game. And so being able to understand all of that, being able to have the discipline, like I said, the self-control, and understanding that, like I said, it always comes down to the end of the game, and that happened today, and the guys did a great job.
Tyson was warming up on the sideline. It looked like you had handed your helmet to an equipment guy. Did you think you were going to go back in for that drive there at the very end of the second quarter?
They just didn't tell us yet exactly who was going in and all of that. But my helmet throughout the whole day, my thing kept coming undone, and so they had to keep fixing it. So it happened about 2 or 3 times. The earpiece thing kept coming out, so yeah.
The third possession, you had a third down shot to Rome there in the end zone. Just what you see on that play?
Third possession, Rome. The touch.
When you went to Rome over the middle, he was in the end zone.
Yeah, so they end up dropping out, and I thought the actual safety was, flying over, and I thought he was going to fly past Rome, and Rome's going to come behind him. The safety ended up settling, and I had to get the ball in my hands. So I was kind of trusting the route, trusting the receiver, and trusting what I was seeing. And, that happens sometimes, and Rome made a good play.
How do you process not playing as well as you individually want to play and be performing at this point in the preseason?
Yeah, I think a part of that is it's preseason. We're not game planning. We're not, doing as much as you would in a game week. We're still practicing. We're still make sure all of our stuff, our base stuff is down, and we're working on all of that. So a part of that is the looks. A part of that is not seeing the looks all week as much as you would in a game week. You spend all week every week planning for this team, and we're at the point now where we're transitioning to that here soon, and so it's frustrating. Obviously, you want to go out there, and every single chance that you go out there, you want to be able to perform and, go out there and not have the slow starts or whatever case may be. So, like I said, it's frustrating, but you also understand that it is preseason, and the situation and things like that is different than it is in season.
What kind of sense did you get for the running game with DeAndre out there? It looked like he had the other handful.
Yeah, no. It's fun being able to see him get out there and go make some explosive plays, make some kind of flashy plays that he had, and we're excited. We're all excited to be able to watch him go.
Do you feel better about where you're at now than a year ago? And I assume that you did. What feels better to you right now, even as we see a game that you weren't happy with today?
Yeah, I think it's smaller things that probably you guys can't see or tell or know, but it comes down to just seeing things when I'm out there in the field, whether it's defense or recognizing things a little bit faster or more often, whether it's a blitz, and being able to obviously or honestly be able to make get up to the line, make checks and see it, and be able to feel comfortable and trust the guys in front of me, and whether it's a back, obviously the 5 guys up front, but being able to trust the back, and when I make that check and he goes up and fills the gap, and I'll be able to deliver a good ball, and so I think some small things that a lot of times y'all don't know or can't see, but I would say those are the couple things.
One of the issues last year that you brought up when you were talking about taking all the sacks was you holding the ball back there too long, and it seemed like there was 1 or 2 plays where that was an issue today.
Mm-hmm.
How are you trying to shift your mindset from the way you played in college and some of the way you played last year to being quicker in the pocket? What are you doing to change that?
Yeah, I think some of it is just timing. I think some of it is trusting the guys. I think some of it is also having my feet and eyes in the same place. For instance, there was one time where I ended up missing Rome because my feet were too fast and I was trying to get through all my reads. And then I ended up getting to a part where I had to scramble and, lost my footing, and, things like that happened. So, if those moments happen, it's time to go make a play. Those are going to happen in games. Everybody at one point holds the ball too long. But at that point, it's going to make a play, and, that isn't what happened. I think it was a 2nd and 3, and ends up obviously being a sack or whatever the case may be, and that's not you don't want to take sacks on 1st and 2nd down. So, I was frustrated myself for that. Just anything, other than taking a sack, get the ball in my hands. If I scramble, be able to stay on my feet, go make a play. So, I think definitely understanding the situation a little bit better, and probably most of those moments, I've been able to understand the situation better. Being 2nd and 3, it's a lot. The chances are a lot higher being able to make a play and get the first down 2nd and 3 rather than 3rd and 8 or whatever the case may be. So, yeah.
How do you approach these next? You got a 2-week layoff here before you guys take on the Vikings, and then obviously that Vikings defense is.
Yeah, we got a few days off, so being able to get a little bit of time, kind of in and out of the facility, and then getting ready. I'm excited. Everybody's excited, and here it comes.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. The Bears.